All I knew the Episcopal Church Building Fund did was provide loans for individual churches and congregations. I was very, very excited to find out that they are asking the questions that no one else in the church seemed to be asking about viability of churches and what can we do. We have, instead of closing churches, can we intervene in a timely manner to make a difference, to make a church stable, sustainable, and thriving again?
I feel that the Building Fund is dealing with the most urgent and systemic issues that we are facing as a church. From my perspective on the bishop's staff, this is the issue. I'm not finding this discussion taking place anywhere else, and bringing peers together, bringing members of dioceses across the country together to discuss this issue.
The mission of the church is not to sustain buildings. The mission of the church is much bigger than that. The building should be a tool that supports the mission of the church. And that's one of the things our congregations had to find out, is that many times their building was defining who they were.
One of the great motivators that brings me to doing this work is my fear of churches dropping keys off on the bishop's desk for me to take over the building. And I've found that the work that the Building Fund is doing is equipping me to go back to these congregations and work with them on a strategy to move forward or close in a healthy, systematic way. It's really a potential crisis that we can avert if we are smart about it and find the right partners, such as the Building Fund.
In Iowa, we partnered with the Building Fund for the recasting process. And it has been an important process in pulling all the pieces together of what their really honest situation is. It takes a team to be able to dig and pull the information. It's also very threatening to be able to say, what is our true situation? To be able to be willing to even take that honest look and be vulnerable. And the Building Fund has helped our congregations in working through this process of how do we focus our ministry to become a sustainable, stable congregation again.
It's really a spiritual process that it happens where people need to admit their brokenness.
There you go.
And their powerlessness, and admit that their situation is that they are no longer in control and cannot manage it, and then really turn to the Building Fund to help lead them to a new way.
I just keep thinking of the illustration of the elephant in the room, and to me, the Episcopal Church Building Fund is making us talk for the first time about that elephant that's in the room. In our diocese, we all see that. And through the symposium, we come together, and it's not just the information the Building Fund provides through workshops and speakers, but it's also the networking that happens between and the realization that you're not in this alone.
Mm-hmm. I'm encouraged, and I think that there can be some real positive results. There already have been, and I think that going forward, we can really maybe make a difference in some congregations that otherwise I'm not sure how we would get there.
3 congregations in Iowa that have taken part in the recasting process would say that a lot of the results to date have been, the most impactful results have been the intangible ones. The change in attitude, the going from fear to hopefulness that all the congregations are reporting, that we now see light at the end of the tunnel, where before we just saw darkness.